Alright, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give our praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakulash, and double and steady apostles of greatness with our rulers, and peace and blessing to the brothers that put this word in all sincerity and in all truth. And this is our few brothers from Jewish General here, Brother Howard, Brother Lamaran, Brother Wright, right here on the Lord's Feast. Feast of Tabernacles, right? And basically, the entitlement of this video is obedience is better than sacrifice, right? Because one of the main reasons that we're in this captivity today is because of disobedience, right? And we seen it up to this day, even men in the truth, not taking heed to the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, right?
First Samuel chapter 15 and verse 21, right? It says, but the people took of the spoiled sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord Yahweh Hashem.
Right? Because the Lord tells them to destroy all these things. And what do? They take it upon themselves to go and keep these animals. Right? The Lord have a reason why he may tell you, hey, destroy us. The Lord have a reason why he tell you not to eat shell food. The Lord have a reason why he tell you not to eat pork. Alright? The Lord have a reason why he tell you all these things. But we as hard niggas, right, we'll go on and do what we want. Right? We'll do what we want. Right? You can't play that. Go back, we lead to this now. You can't play that. Might tell you something, but you might take it upon yourself to do something contrary to what he tell you. Right? Your husband might tell you something and you go and do something contrary to what he tell you. And the Lord ain't dealing with that shit. They're the reason why we in this captivity this day. Right? And we setting the record straight. Obedience better than sacrifice. The Lord require obedient people. Right? That we require obedience. Right?
Verse 22 it says, and Samuel said, had the Lord Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
You can read over that,
For Samuel chapter 15 and 22 it says, and Samuel said, had the Lord Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Yeah, the Lord had great delight in that. Go ahead. Back in them time, yeah, go ahead.
As in obeying the voice of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
As in obeying the voice of the Lord. What the Lord tell you to do. The Lord tell us something to do it. Right? Yeah, man, that's right. Come on.
Done.
Go ahead.
It says, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice.
So what?
To obey is better than sacrifice.
To obey is better than sacrifice. Right? Now we're looking up again in one. I think it's in that sense. No, that is in Joshua. Right, in Joshua. Right? To obey is better than sacrifice. You make it into the Lord requires people to obey. So you wives who want to go and do what you want, right? If they can't tell the men below him to do something, is to do it. Because why? The Lord know why he put him in charge. Right? So if he can't be that safe to do something, if it's not something contrary to the scriptures or the law, whatever the case may be, hey, do what the man tell you to do. Right? Do what the man tell you to do. That's one of the main reasons we here. Because we don't listen, we don't obey. And that we just always get yourself in problems. Up to this day, we get yourself in problems. We rehearsing righteousness right now, we're supposed to get certain shit right. We're supposed to have it down pat. And I'm speaking to my own too. Right? We're supposed to get certain shit down pat. When I'm about to tell you something, you feel this 10 because you're rank. Don't feel it's a ranking thing, it's not a ranking thing. You understand?
Yeah, and if I add, right, you see obeying is like, because guess what, we are human beings, it's part of the most high technology. Alright? And the thing about it with certain, let me say computer programs or programmers, whatever the case is, because your brain, your mind is actually a computer. You understand? One thing with somebody who program a computer, whatever the case is, they program it to do their will, what they want to do. And from the time you're not doing what the person programmed you to do, whatever the case is, whether it's a phone, a computer, a robot, you're not doing what the program to do, you be considered as a malfunction. And disobeying come like malfunctioning.
It's can.
And what going on go on when it start to malfunction, the person going and get rid of you. And I see things that the Most High going and do. That is why jumping on the Hebrew Israelite woman, that is why most of you just end up in a divorce or your man leaving you because you're fucking malfunctioning.
That's right.
The man wants you to do something. Your man is your head. He is your head. But if you ain't using your head, you'll find somebody who more pleasing to you. You understand? But in the sense that the Most High now, the Most High going to destroy it. Because what the Most High require for a woman to do in the first fucking place is to obey she husband. The Most High ain't going to take no such a long talk from fucking hearing your man. Because your husband or your father could disannul your fucking vow.
And if I can say this now, some of you might think, well, I gotta listen to my husband. I am being, we use the scripture in Acts 5 and 29, you want to obey man rather than, because the base is most rather than man.
Don't it?
Yeah, bring it.
Book of Acts chapter 5 and verse 29. It says, Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High Yahweh rather than men.
Yeah, that's true. But the Most High put men under him, he ordained men under him, right? So them could be over certain men, right? And there's an order. Yahweh is over Yahweh is over the man, and the man is over his wife. So you saying that you ought to obey the law rather than man, you ain't doing the law required. Because here what? Once you're doing anything pleasing to Yahweh, it's pleasing to your man. I mean pleasing to your man, pleasing to Yahweh, Salakia. Because it's the right thing.
Hey, and for some of you women, all they don't fucking think. When all the man ain't home, who in charge of the house? You. So if you have children underneath you, and all they're trying to justify, we rather obey the Most High than men. If it is that your child uses that scripture against you, then what you're gonna say? The scripture say honor him or your father. Because your children have to listen to you, being that you is the mother. You understand? So stop trying to justify all the fucking wickedness.
Yeah, once you please, if you say you please in the Lord, once you please in the man, you please in the Lord. Because you're doing what the Lord tell you to do. Obey your husband. So once you obey your husband, you please in the Lord. But you can't go to your husband and start to praise the Lord and do it. You understand? You have to do what your husband tell you to do, and he will tell you to do nothing contrary. Even though we can't play and until you number one, the apostles and them, the apostles them tell you, hey, do so and so, so they will tell you nothing contrary to the truth, to the doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. Right, but you women out there, I really want to stick on you women. You women who say any truth and they do what you want, the Most High will fuck up on it for that. The Most High will do it for that, you need dread for that. Right? Stop pretending like you ain't the truth and do the right thing. Right? Nobody had to tell you to do the right thing. When you reach a certain age in life, you know what is right and you know what is wrong. Right? If a woman knows she's supposed to keep, she gets covered. Right? Because the scripture telling 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 17, 19, it says, pray continually. Pray without ceases, right? And a woman supposed to keep she head. A woman supposed to keep she head covered, right? A man ain't supposed to cover here when he pray or prophesying. So a woman supposed to have she cover, so she's supposed to continually be praying until Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Right? You're supposed to be high cleavage trained. And time again we had a good shit out with you. Right? Time again we had a good shit out. They ain't harder than wood.
So you just look for coffee on your head to tell you things on the show. You understand? Because disobedience is annoying.
Can't be, we have time to be babysitting nobody, you know. We don't know babysitting session right now, you know. We not time for that. We life on the line right now, we not time for that bullshit. We have time for that right now. We're saying to do the laws, bro, we have to do this, we have to do that. So, hey, do what's required here, that is all. That is all. And stop trying to pretend. Give me like, you happy, sir?
You have to say,
Bring it.
one after.
But if it bring, don't you?
That's not what I was saying, right? For every man and woman, right, they're supposed to cover their head, right? A man's supposed to cover his head, and prophesy, right? That's teaching good. A woman's supposed to cover her head, keep her head covered one time, right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4.
Hey, if I can say, since it's you have to be God rather than man, hey, keep your head covered. The Lord requires you to keep your head covered. Keep your head covered.
Done.
Stop looking at what this one doing and what this one doing and how this one looking. Do what the Lord wants to do.
Seek your salvation.
Seek
fear
your
and
own
trembling.
salvation, fear and trembling.
Done.
Because it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of Yahweh Hashem Yashai.
Done.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4, it says, for every man praying or prophesying having his head uncovered, dishonor his head. But right, so if a man, pray with his head uncovered or prophesy with his head covered, he's dishonoring his head, right? Dishonoring the Messiah, right? His prayers will be unanswered, right? Verse 5.
If you know, you know.
Done.
The Lord will pardon you, but if it is you, you know. If it is you, know. Wait is to do.
Done.
The Lord ain't trying to hear that shit.
Done. And most of you women know because your husband bring it to you already.
Like some of the basic things that you're learning in the street.
Done. Right? And that goes to you, Akim too.
Right?
Right? Then verse 5 it says, but every woman that prayed or prophesied with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven. Understand? So it's better, when you bald headed.
And that is the thing about society these days, where women shave their head and they still fucking proud. That's stupid and too silent. Because long ago, it was a shame for a woman to have her head bald. Matter of fact, certain natives, when it is that they head shown, it's because they were caught in committing adultery, and that was a shame. She would have been known as an adulteress. You understand? But now these days, women like fucking with this asshole woman named who Wiz Khalifa was with.
Eve and all of them.
Yeah, that is a shame. Your glory is supposed to be your year. You understand? Our glory is women. The amount of women a man have is to show how glorious he is. And we are the most high glory, the men. You understand?
If you want to please the Lord, start by pleasing your husband.
Exactly.
Right? Start by pleasing your husband. If it is you really want to please Yahweh Hashem Yashai and think that those chariots, right? Please your husband. Right? Full stop. And do it in sincerity. Don't pretend. Do it in fear of the Lord.
This is Titus 2, right? I'll just go straight to the point. It says to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands.
Good, obedient to their own husband.
That the word of the Most High Yahweh be not blasphemed.
Be not blasphemed. Right? Because if you ain't doing that in the industry, you come like a blaspheme in the word of the Lord. Because the Lord is something the Lord requires for you to do. All they have a lot of work to do. Women have a lot of work to do in the street. That's what they say. All they have a set of things to do.
You will be fucking prophetess.
You want to be
Your head
prophet.
covered.
Relax so they lean back like Fat Jonah, man.
Because hey, a man in the children, he not supposed to shave his fucking beard. You understand? So why it is all your women don't take example from all your husband and try to be obedient? You know?
Hey, we see we perfect. But what we does do? What we does do? Learn from example. What we does do? We does try the best to do the right thing. Right? And more or less we go perfect it. Right? Because we rehearsing it. And after rehearsing as well, is the real thing. Yeah.
Right? This is Daniel chapter 9 and verse 9. It says, to the Lord Yahweh, our power, behold mercies and forgiveness. True, we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh, our power, to walk in his laws.
You have your
Salah. Neither have we obeyed
right.
the voice of the Lord Yahweh, our power.
Right, we acknowledge we obey the Lord, but what we do? Right, we repent from that. If we just fall short every day. But simple things we when I'm speaking bold, the certain things we not gonna like to come on, man. They come like shaving the truth and your beard and shaving it off. You get me? Certain basic things you wouldn't do. You wouldn't do them kind of shit. Good. That's it.
Done. Daniel chapter 9 and verse 10, it said, neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh our power to walk in his laws, which he had set before us by his servants, the prophets.
By his servants, the prophets. Right? He set them laws for his servants, the prophets. They went out and they established it and show, hey, they were the law required to do. Ramo?
This is Baruch chapter 2 and start at verse 26. Right? It says here in the book of Baruch 2 verse 26, right? It says, and the house which is called by thy name hast thou laid waste, as it is to be seen this day, for the wickedness of the house of Israel and the house of Judah. O Lord our power, thou hast dealt with us after all thy goodness, and according to all that grace mercy of thine, as thou spakest by thy servant Moses, in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the children of Israel, saying, if he will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. So the thing about it is, just showing you here, not hearing the voice of the Most High, meaning not obeying, you go in and receive punishment. So don't feel you could disobey and get away with it. Because from the time you start to disobey the Most High, which sin is disobedience. If you want to call sin an X word, it is disobedience. That is all sin is. Sin is just disobedience. Right? Because all things are required to obey the voice of the Most High. From the time you ain't obey, that is sin.
Not why. The Lord said, don't look back. The Lord said, don't look back. And what you do? You disobey by looking back. And what went on with you? You get judged. You get destroyed. Learn from example. That was an example the Lord said.
Because sin is not no fucking supernatural. When you call it, with like when we grew up thinking sin is something that basically you just inherit or whatever the case is, so you run through your bloodline. Sin is just disobedience. That's all sin is. To go left. You understand?
This is the book of Joshua chapter 34 and verse 12, 15. It says, and if, after verse 14 says, now therefore fear Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshua and serve him in sincerity. In sincerity. Right? Be sincere when you're serving the Lord. So be sincere to your husband. Hey, be sincere to your camp leader, whoever it might be. But whatever you do it in sincerity. Right? They say, and in truth. Because sooner or later, if you do it in sincerity and in truth, it will be revealed. And it will be a hell of a thing when it be revealed. Because we in a time of destruction, and don't get it twisted, we in a time of destruction. So the Lord ain't easing up his judgment. The Lord ain't trying to ease up his judgment. We are at that crunch time right now. As you can see what's going on right now.
If I can interject, just this morning I make a video concerning that storm will pass over the Bahamas. Hey, the Most High tore up that storm. Right? Did you really say that was not a natural storm? A normal hurricane? You understand? The Most High tore up that.
Right? It says, and put away the gods which your fathers served and others, and serve on the other side of the flood in Egypt, and serve ye Yahweh. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh by Hashem Yashai, choose you Salah. It says, and if it seems evil unto you to serve Yahweh, right? And when you look up that word serve, right? I said, let me put the word serve is still big. So if you choose this day, if it seems evil unto you to serve or to obey Yahweh, choose you this day whom ye shall serve, whether the God which your father served. Matter of fact, I will praise that ye will obey whether the gods which your father obeyed that were on the other side of the flood, or Yahweh, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will obey Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Yeah, next piece. Give me a piece about it.
Hey, I'm just going into that, right? Let me just read the first Peter one time. Because guess what? Spiritually, we as a people, we sick. You know? Spiritually, we as a people, we sick. And we unclean. And we are excited at the Most High. So what we have to do is try to become clean. Right? Try to be healed. Right? So I bring two precepts. This is first precept. This is Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 16. It says, wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes, cease to do evil, which is disobedience. Learn to do well, seek judgment, release the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Come now, and let us reason together, said Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Hey, verse 19, here we say, if ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land.
Obedient?
Yeah,
Obedient. You will get the goodness. You know, you get the goodness of the land.
hey.
And the ultimate goodness is what the kingdom. Just do what your head told you to do. Once it's not going off. Once they're not going off, let's do it. Let's do it in sincerity.
This is Genesis 4 and 6. And Yahweh Hashem Yashai said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin light at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. The wages of sin is death. Last precept I'll bring right about now. 1 Peter 1:22. Seeing ye have purified your souls in obeying the truth through the Spirit unto unfeigned love of the virgin, see that ye love one another with a pure heart fervently. Right? So the thing about it is, you're purifying. To be purified is to make clean by obeying. Sin is uncleanness, sin is disobedience. So how you gonna make yourself clean? By obeying. Psalms 119 verse 9, wherewith all shall a young man cleanse his way by taking heed, which means to obey the words of the Most High. It's not mad. It's not mad. What's so wrong with just listening to your husband or listening to the words of the Most High?
Or
Because
listening to the camp leader.
can.
Or
Because
listening to the apostles, Salakia.
yeah, can.
Or listening to the ones who are above you.
Because guess what? In ancient Israel, most of you women don't know. Your husband is actually father of the whole house. Meaning he's also your father. Father goes back to the power of the house, the strength of the house. And you know the thing about with fathers in ancient Israel, they had life or death authority over the whole household. That meaning the father had the authority to put his wife to death, put his children to death, put his dog to death, put his donkey to death, the sheep, the goat, the cockroach. That is the amount of authority that a man had over his whole household. So when all the women say, you have a man, you have a man. Your man is your manager. Your man have the authority to over you, especially to put you to death if you want. You could pray a prayer, and your husband have the authority to say, hear what Lord do, hear she pray, and the Lord will not hear him. That is the kind of authority that a man actually have over his wife and whole household. The head of the whole relationship is the Most High. But who the Most High will not listen to is his wife, which is the man.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 and starting from verse 17. Right. It says, all bread is sweet to a whoremonger, he will not leave off till he die. A man that breaketh wedlock said thus in his heart, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness, the wall covered me, and nobody seeth me. We need I to fear the Most High will not remember my sins. Such a man only fear the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of Yahweh are 10 times brighter than the sun. Behold, all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. He know all things ever they were created, so also after they were perfect, he looked upon them all. This man shall be punished in the streets of the city, and when he suspected not, he shall be taken. Thus shall he go also with the wife that leaveth her husband, and bring it in a hair by another. The first she, it says, for first she had disobeyed the law of the Most High, and secondly, she had transgressed against her own husband. Right? It says, third, she had played a whore in adultery and bore children upon another man. But basically the point is, for first she had disobeyed the law, right?
Which is the words of the Most High.
Can. And secondly, she had transgressed against her husband,
Which is disobedience. She committed a felony, a crime. Right? So our next word for sin is actually crime. Because crime, you commit a crime by breaking a law. You commit a sin by breaking a law. So spiritually, the majority of our people are criminals. Because they break the ultimate law. Moral law and value. You know? I bring the name.
Alright, this is Nehemiah chapter 1 of verse 7. It says, we have dealt
Dealt.
we have dealt very corruptly against thee, and have not kept the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the judgments, which thou commandest thy servant Moses.
Hey, when something corrupting, when something is corrupt, it decaying, it's unclean. So we dealt unclean with the Most High by disobeying. You understand? Well, by what? By not what?
So that we
Seven.
go see it. Go see
No,
it.
certain.
So that we do what we say.
Yeah.
Right? Nehemiah chapter 1 and 7, it says, For we have dealt very corruptly against thee, and have not kept the commandments,
Have not what?
kept the commandments,
Commandments, and next word for commandment is law, statute. All three of them basically mean the same thing, but in different orders. Because if I'm not mistaken, a statute actually goes back to a standing law. Alright?
done. Right? Nor the statutes, nor the judgments, which thou commandest thy servant Moses.
Right, so it wasn't Moses' law.
Right? A lot of people like to say that too. Moses no, Moses no. Hey, that Moses ya bashing ya.
God's law.
Huh?
Moses just get the title because basically Moses was the lawgiver. He was a priest of the Messiah, a priest, prophet, and basically a God. That is Moses, and he was king in Joshua. You understand? Moses was actually the first king of Israel.
Hey, you wonder if this, hey,
Strictly.
basically, yeah,
Hey,
so the transgression or the transgressing, right? You know? Hey, and with that, we give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, right? Double honors to the apostles of great mercy and Reuben. Peace and blessings to you, brothers that put this word in all sincerity and all truth, right? Right? Shalom to the sisters, right? The sincere sisters, the Aqua, Yam, Aquatian,
Aquatan, Salakia, Aquatan.
right? Who sincere and doing what is required of them, right? And to the ones who have stepped in, hey,
What?
now what, right? So, hey, hopefully this video was very fine. Shalom.
Shalom.